when I read the title of this video, I was a bit shocked because I didn't know that you had police just for the Autobahn. I would think that it's like a punishment, right? Where if you have to be a police for the Autobahn, you're like, it's not a fun job. So I would think that it's like for people that have misbehaved or rookie cops, because I would never want to do that job. It looked like the most annoying job in the world. So I don't know, but DW Euromax did a video about it where we're gonna see a day in the life. So I wanted to see what it's all about because I have no idea and I didn't know that it was a thing. So
25
let's go.
21. Sollen wir mit euch zusammen den Verkehr runterbremsen? So verstanden.
Seid ihr bereit? Ja, hinten fühlt es sich noch ein bisschen schlimmer an.
German sagt jetzt, was wir machen.
Wir haben jetzt einen Verkehrsunfall mit Personenschaden.
Normally I do everything to avoid the police, but today I'm riding along. Did you know that the German Autobahn has its own police force? Tillman Hartung, seen here on the left, and Alex Lattendorf work as Autobahn police officers. They monitor traffic on a 220-kilometer stretch of highway in the German state of Hessen.
If she has to ask, it means that it's not that obvious. Does that mean that in other European country, you don't really have police for like the super highway like this? Because this feels quite uncommon to me. And I'm curious to see if she's gonna see why exactly there's a police only for this.
And this is the car they use, a BMW 530 diesel with 265 horsepower. They also carry guns and wear bulletproof vests. So how dangerous is their job?
Gefährlich wird es natürlich immer, wenn wir auf der Autobahn das Fahrzeug verlassen müssen.
Violence is not an issue for you, like having to use your guns, you're not afraid of drivers being armed with weapons, these aren't necessarily your concerns?
Also in Deutschland müssen wir zum Glück nicht bei jeder Verkehrskontrolle damit rechnen, dass jemand eine Schusswaffe zieht. Wir sind natürlich dafür trainiert, immer zu zweit Verkehrssicherheit zu schaffen. Wir machen auch Kontrollen immer zu zweit, das ist anders wie in Amerika.
We are now on a mission to find out what's happening. Apparently there's an accident on the highway. We drive through what the Germans call a Rettungsgasse, or a special emergency lane made by drivers on the Autobahn. Luckily, only cars were totaled.
Wait, how does she call this? There's a name for the line? Rettungsgasse. It's when people go on one side and the other and you can go in the middle. I thought that this was only for the ambulance. In Canada, it would be only for the ambulance that people try their best. There's no name for it. But I would assume that in Germany, it's like the law that you need to put yourself. And they are doing a very good job for that. I would think that it is an accident, right? Like an accident and then...
Special emergency lane made by drivers on the Autobahn. Luckily, only cars were totaled. Remarkably, the drivers had only minor injuries.
Guten Morgen. Können wir euch irgendwas noch helfen?
Nee, eigentlich nicht.
Dann hat sich das alles aufgestaut, alle haben gebremst, einer nicht.
Ja, alles klar.
In the U.S., as you may know, the U.S. Highway Patrol is also responsible for highway safety. However, they do control speed as well. And often is the case, they hide behind bridges, as I know from personal experience, to catch speeders. But here, that's a different police patrol that controls the speed on the Autobahn. So you're not out here to catch speeding cars. What's your mission on the Autobahn?
Ja, bei der Autobahnpolizei sind wir hauptsächlich mit der Verkehrsunfallaufnahme betraut. Natürlich kontrollieren wir auch Fahrzeuge. Wir gucken, ob die Fahrzeugführer die nötigen Fahrerlaubnisse haben, ob die Alkohol getrunken haben, ob die vielleicht Drogen genommen haben.
Wir haben hier besonders auf der Autobahn internationalen Verkehr. Wir haben viel mit Güterverkehr auch zu tun.
Among the international traffic.
Well, because even though you don't have a speed limit, that doesn't give you the right to drive like a maniac, you know? No speed limit doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want on the superhighway, I guess. So it's kind of a rhetorical question, but
Traffic is a truck from Poland, which attracts the officer's attention. They quickly react to remove it from the road and bring it to a spot where routine vehicle checks are taking place. After reviewing the driver's papers, checking his freight, and conducting a urine test, it turns out that he was indeed in violation of a few traffic laws.
Er hat keine Lenk- und Ruhezeiten. Auf den Lenk- und Ruhezeiten vermerkt er auch, wo er gestartet ist, wo er angekommen ist, sein Kilometerstand und so weiter, damit man das alles nachvollziehen kann. Das kann man in dem Fall nicht.
I've never heard of this. He's doing a urine test, even if they don't suspect that he's drinking something? And they also need to log everything? I'm from Canada. I'm not aware of something like this. Like, you need to record everything. I'm guessing that that's to make sure that you don't, like, drive too many hours. But in Canada, in the US, it's all about long hour. I'm not sure that there's law like this where I'm from, but this is a good thing.
Das ist schon ziemlich schwerwiegend im Güterverkehr.
A potentially costly mistake for this truck driver.
As Tillman already told us, one of their main jobs is to check drivers for alcohol consumption. I have some German schnapps now that I'm just going to put in my mouth and swirl around and see if it makes any difference.
Einmal tief Luft holen. Gut. 0,3 Milligramm pro Liter.
Surprisingly, it does make a difference, so the tests continue.
Wow.
I didn't drink anything. What's happening?
In Germany, for drivers under 21, there is a zero alcohol tolerance
Zero.
policy. After that, drivers with a blood alcohol level from 0.5 are considered unfit for the road.
Wow. In Canada, it's 18 years old. And I think it's 0.7. Yeah.
Also hier wäre jetzt erstmal nichts auffällig.
Back on the highway, we're heading out on the next mission, and once again, very fast.
Beispielsweise die Geschwindigkeit fahren sie in den USA gar nicht, ne?
Nice.
We reached 219 kilometers per hour. That's 136
Holy!
miles per hour.
I feel bad for the people that are trying to get out of the way.
There's
Did he say 219 kilometer? In Canada, we have kilometer, not miles. We're not American. We are like Europe. 219? I've never seen a car going 219 in my life. I have rarely seen above 150.
debris on the Autobahn. Officer Hartung performs a maneuver to stop the traffic behind us so his partner can remove it safely.
Damn, there's a profound respect for the cops. Look at this. It looked like fake. I would not believe it if you show me this and it was not from a YouTube video. It's crazy. The cops are getting respect because I think that the cops are treating people well. And I think it makes a whole lot of difference, right?
As you know, there's this big debate in Germany about whether or not to have a standard speed limit. So as police officers and as fast drivers, are you for or against a general speed limit in the country?
Also meine private Meinung dazu ist, dass ich ein Geschwindigkeitslimit auf Autobahnen nicht schlecht finde. Privat fahre ich selbst nicht besonders schnell. Und auch im Dienst zeigt sich immer wieder, dass Unfälle häufig mit zu hoher Geschwindigkeit zu tun haben.
The speed limit debate in Germany.
Häufig mit zu hoher Geschwindigkeit und auch im Dienst haben.
He says that the many accidents are caused by excessive speed. But what he doesn't say is that there's always or most of the time alcohol involved with these high speed. Because most people that have not drink, they don't feel the need to go in that very crazy speed. Unless there's literally nobody on the road, I would think, or you have a sport car. Because this is where I'm from, it's like this. You see people having an accident, you go fast, but then you notice that, oh, there was drug alcohol in the system. So it feels like a lot of the time it go together. So it's mostly about stopping people from drinking and driving or having drugs and driving rather than the actual speed, in a way.
The speed limit debate in Germany has been going on for decades. About 65% of the entire Autobahn network currently has no limit.
Well, that was more excitement than I bargained for. What impressed me the most about these officers is how quickly they reacted to the action on the Autobahn, and also how cool they remained under pressure. I definitely have a renewed respect for the work they do. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more about myths of the Autobahn, then check out.
They are really polite. The cops, I'm kind of shocked. I never had a good interaction with the cops in Canada. So I cannot imagine in America how people would feel. But they seem very chill, which kind of surprised me. And it seems like the biggest risk for them, it's not really other people. It's mostly them having to drive fast to an accident or something like this. Or someone who doesn't get to the side of the road in time, and then you hit him because you're trying to go too fast, rather than actually people trying to attack them. And it goes to show that I think if you show kindness and your profession, the cops are probably perceived quite positively in Germany compared to where I'm from. It creates less tension and less scenario that can escalate. That's my theory. So